I'm back. My name's Mark Pulham and all things Disney fascinate me. So today we're going to do something that's going to make your holidays festive. And what doesn't make your holidays festive than a wreath on your door or on your wall? Today we're going to make some Mickey wreaths and have fun while we're at it. Now, there are a lot of holidays and these wreaths can be adapted to all holidays. Most of the items purchased for these wreaths I found at a local store where things are only $1, which makes the cost not so high. I'll show you some of the wreaths that we've made this year. Here is a wreath that is focused on Halloween. Now everything on this wreath was at the dollar store, other than finding a picture that I could cut to fit this frame. And these frames were really inexpensive. They were $1, can you imagine? And everything else on this was found at the dollar store. Now that was for the Halloween season. Now for Thanksgiving, let me show you this one. It didn't quite get the Mickey makeover. It's lacking its Mickey ears, but we can always put those ears there. This was, of course, you can see for Thanksgiving. But today we're going to focus on making a wreath that would be a Mickey wreath for Christmas. First of all, what are you going to make your wreath out of? Well, there are a lot of different materials. I searched at the dollar store. I found these items, and you could make them out of this glitter wreath. I found this and these smaller wreaths. Now, if we kind of bend our wreaths and cut some of these things off that we wouldn't need, let me see if I can cut these off. We can use these as the ears. You can see I've bent them and we could put them right here. Of course, they'll be lying flat against a wall. Now, how do you attach those? And I have two of these. Let's see how we can do it. All right, I'm going to be working on this. All right, this was a wreath that I found all the supplies at the dollar store. I found this wreath. It was like this with this green thing hanging out, this poinsettia. And so I took that off. These were smaller than this one, so I was able to use those. Now, we can see his ears would be kind of like that. So in the back, I'm going to make it round, kind of like a heart. And then as you look in the back, I'm going to find the top of this wreath. It's right there. And I'm just going to put these in through the back end. I'm going to make sure they look even. And when they do look even, do they look even? That's kind of a Mickey. All right. Now I'm going to take some pipe cleaners that I also got at the dollar store, and I'm going to kind of secure them on so that they don't flop around. And since this is a pipe cleaner that looks just like the rest of the stuff, it's easy to twist and make them so that they stay up. So after you've done all that, you've got your Mickey wreath. And then you can adorn it with all your other things. Even this thing, you could put those on the ears if you wanted, and you'd begin your Mickey wreath. That's one wreath that you could decide to do. I found these. Let me reach down and get them. These were also at the dollar store. They're a little sparse. Of course, you have to bring them out and shape them, and sometimes that takes a little while. And then these two smaller wreaths to go on the side, and that would work as a Mickey wreath. Now, I like to make it as simple as I can, so I use the wires on the pine boughs to kind of attach them together. And then if that doesn't securely keep them up, hello, I would use wire also. So there is another Mickey wreath that you can use from dollar store craft items. I found that I like the thicker wreaths because they're fuller and they lend themselves easier. Let me show you the one that we're kind of going to be making today. This is a Mickey wreath. It also has lights on it, if I can turn those lights on. Voila! And I like to fill in the middle with a frame with some artwork that's Disney of the season. And we'll show you how to attach those, and we'll end up with something like this. So let's put it to the side and work on the wreath first. Here's our basic shape. I've got one ear up, and I'm going to move so all of the pine boughs are coming to the outside. And you can see that I'm missing an ear. For this ear, I'm going to position it, and I'm going to move all of the boughs, pine boughs, to this outside. This is a lot of fun. Keep telling yourself that. All right, so now I'm just going to use the little branches to kind of apply or attach them together, using both from each wreath, one on this side, on that side, and eventually I will have my Mickey wreath. All right, let's go on to the next step. All right, once I have the shape here, I will take some of the pine boughs from the small wreath with the larger wreath, and I'll just intertwine them and twist them around so that I have a firm connection, so that they're not going to flop around. And they might flop around, but they're against the door, so it shouldn't make a difference. So I'm just going to twist them around, and I've got the shape. Now, I usually like to put something in the middle, and recently when I was at my local, I can buy that for just $1 store, I found these mirrors. Now, the mirrors that I use for those, I found at thrift stores. This has a mirror inside. I would probably want to put a picture that would fit in this location. But I can put that right in the middle of this bottom wreath, and instead of just fretting on how I'm going to attach it, I can, again, use the pine boughs and stick them through the openings and twist them on, and then they should stay in place. So I'm going to be doing that now. Next, I'm going to put some lights on my wreath. Now, you can get those lights that have a timer, and that's what I would suggest. These are just some I had around, and it's always fun to buy these after Christmas because the price is so much better. I'm just going to weave these in and out of this wreath now. So give me a little time. I'll try to put them behind some of these pine boughs, and we'll see what happens. And I'm going to pinch these on. And sometimes it's nice to put them on while they're lit so you can see how that's going to turn out. And notice I just wrap that branch around the lights to kind of keep it in place. I don't like to do things that, and maybe it's bad, I don't like to do things that are too hard to do, like attach with wire and glue, and I know they would stay on much better, but for my purpose right now, I'm just going to kind of bend these branches over and see what happens. I usually tape the control panel onto the back of this frame, so that's another good reason to have a kind of a sturdy center. And why are the same colors always together? It just kind of always works that way. I'm going to put that right through that ear, so it's going to be down. And if it is a little further down than I want, I'll just poke some of these through the back side. All right, I've got my lights on the wreath. That was quite simple. Now, last year, you'll recall, we showed you how to make Mickey ornaments in a simple, easy easy to do way that they've lasted through through last year. And I can put some of those on this wreath if I wanted to, and attach them like that. That would be kind of fun. One thing that I like to do also is take the dollar store ornaments and take off the top part, and then just put them on the ends of the branches. They stay on. There's no problem. You don't have to have a hanger. You're not hot gluing them on. And I'm just kind of pressing them down, and they stay in place. And I can move them around. Sometimes when you have wire hangers, they kind of dangle, and they don't really dangle where you want them to dangle. But with the, and I haven't tried it. Maybe I can try it with this. Taking the top out and then putting the top in, and there, it stays in place much easier than when I have a ornament hanger. Let's see if I can get this one. And we'll put it, we don't want, let's see, we'll put that there. And maybe put this one up here. And I have some others of these that I could certainly use. And just put it in the branch. And there we go. And as many as you can put on, it's always festive. That's what I say, festive. Oh, I had some other stuff that, this was at the dollar store also. Now this had the ornaments and the glitter on. So I can try something else with this. Let's see if it works. Doesn't work, you can always adapt it. If I wrap the glitter around, again, I use the branches to attach just so that it stays on. And you could, now because it's long, you're gonna have to poke it in. It probably would have been better to wrap it without putting the mirror on first. But you can see how this would turn out. I'm just gonna do a little of this with the power of fast motion. Maybe we'll get this done sooner than later. And there we have our wreath, the outline of it. You can add more, you can add figures. What I like to do is find a picture in the middle. Now, this is something I found at the dollar store. And it's a door hanger, but it's a Disney door hanger. But I think if I cut this door hanger part off, let me see if I can cut that off without damaging it. Then I can put that right in the middle, make sure that it's right up the front. I would hot glue that, but just for our purposes right now, I'm going to just hurry and put some tape on it so that you can get an idea. I would also perhaps go online to see if you can find any pictures. So there we have kind of our Mickey wreath. We can also choose to put little ornaments around this wreath also that would make it festive and fun. Here's another. I go to the thrift store and get old frames. I found a picture of Mickey and Minnie, and I put some glitter paper behind it and put that in a frame, and that could also hang in the center of your wreath. So easy peasy, that's what I say. If I wanted to even hot glue that hat right in the middle, there we have our Mickey wreath. Now you can see these ornaments that we've designed last year. You can find those on a previous YouTube video we did. You can find that information right in this corner. And all things Disney are fun to make. I'll show you pictures of the Christmas tree. I'll maybe even post some of the other wreaths that we make, especially the one made out of that glitter. We'll see what that wreath looks like also later. We have a train around our our Christmas tree. It's a Mickey train, but we didn't want to just have it going around without anything exciting. So our train is actually going in a box in a diorama, you know, like at Disneyland where they go through the dinosaur place. We'll show you how to make that. It's a lot of fun. Of course, the only people that are going to see it are the figures on the train, which, well, it'll be fun. So hopefully you'll have your own fun making your own wreaths. I wanted to show you one more thing. This was an old Halloween frame, and what I do to make it, to doll it up a bit, is you find this antique rubbing mix. Now this is a gold rub. Sometimes I like the silver, but you just put a little on your finger and watch the magic that happens on this wreath as we just rub this gold on it. It brings out the detail of that frame. It no longer looks like a cheap little dollar plastic frame. And okay, we bring that frame to life by just rubbing a little of this gold rubbing antique, and your frame looks a little more decorative than just the plastic frame, and it goes a long way. I still have some on my finger, and of course you'll have it on your finger for a while after that, and you'll go around humming "Gold Finger" or whatever you like to hum. But that kind of makes your wreath a little more substantial looking, other than just a plastic wreath. It can be a lot of fun. Put your Disney character or picture right there. For instance, here we have our Disney picture, and it looks like you paid a lot of money for that. Now, once I do my wreaths also, I like to take actual figures, and we put these on our Christmas tree. You get the sets at the Disney store or online. Right this past holiday or Thanksgiving, Black Tuesday or Black Friday, we just put wires around the necks of these little critters and attach them to the wreaths. They don't feel it. They enjoy the position of honor that they get, and you can put those figures on your wreaths. I was going to do a frozen wreath, and you can put all of your characters. Now these I found at just a thrift store, and a whole bag of them, and you could put and make a frozen wreath. So the possibilities are endless. I think this would be fun with the silver frame, and maybe even doll it up with some glitter. So just have fun with your wreaths and be creative, and hopefully they'll kind of brighten up a spot on your wall or on your door to greet your friends. Thanks for visiting, and make sure you check those other videos that we've made some other Disney things. All right. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. I think I know just the place for that.